let's have a conversation.
Shout out all my dogs at the crib. 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 Shout out all my dogs at the crib.
There we go. What's up, y'all? Wait a minute. Before I even start, man, I gotta drop one of these here.
Oh my God, Jesus. I know you were just way too stingy with the common sense. You needed to disperse it a little better because these people.
And
This is all way too much. It's so stupid.
I don't know why I have the cut out of that. I gotta get the back. All right. Hi, Cassie. Brian. What's up, Brian? Good to see you here. All right. Have no idea what's going on here, but I'm here for Mark. Appreciate you, sir. Hello, Tammy. Hey, Cougar Man. If only it were last season. Right. Did you see my messages? I mean, not my messages, sorry. Did you see any of my posts that I made that I spoke to Leah when I was at the Big Brother premiere event? I told her about you and your channel. Although I will say, she was like, hey, DM me and he can DM me. And I DM'd her and she didn't respond. But I did mention your channel and I spoke to her specifically about Operation BLT. Like, subscribe, and share. Thanks, Tammy. All right. I love the red lighting. Me too. I did it the other day. And then I was like, you know what? When I do these lives and it's after dark, I'm going to have my red light here. It's actually a light that I got for, I don't know, Christmas or something. Change it. I can change it all these different colors. I was using this one for a while, the fluorescent one. I like the fluorescent one too, but right now my mood is for the red. Shout out to you, my dog at the crib. Chocolate is the reason why my dogs at the crib got back into my head. I actually have an idea in my head right now of creating a cameo for that. It depends on what Cam's cameo price is, because when I looked at it last year, I want to say that it was like $75, and I was like, sorry, there's no way that I would pay $75 for a cameo. Like, no offense to you, sir, but I'm trying to look up the price right now. Oh, it's not working. I think it's just my phone is just overall, there's problems with it. Been down for the count. Sorry to hear that, but glad you're here. Those coming in, please hit that like button. Sorry, y'all, I'm multitasking. I'm just trying to get into my Cameo so that I can see 875-081. Just a quick plug. 2 quick plugs, as a matter of fact, while I find Cam Big Brother. Cam Big Brother. Oh my God. Okay, forget what I said about Cam being in my intro, because $71.42. I can't. I paid. What did I pay for Kara's? I think I want to say I paid about 75 plus the taxes and fees or whatever for Kara. I want to say I paid about that same amount for Wes. I think those were the only 2 that I paid that much for, but Kara and Wes, man. I cannot. But maybe his price is that high because of his TikTok community that existed before he did Big Brother. Because for Big Brother reasons, there's no way. Like, I even hesitate to pay a winner that much for a cameo on Big Brother. What's up, Ebony? Friday's episode. Honestly, I started watching it. I got through about 20 to 25 minutes of it. And like I said, to me, it gives that look back episode. It's like that look back episode thing that they do at the end, which I hate, the thing they do right before the finale. So I ended up just turning that off and watching the feeds. I prefer the fluorescent one as well, but I also have so many different moods that today I could be like, if I had to pick one, if somebody told me I could only use one color on this light for the rest of my life, I would use the fluorescent one. Also, this looks different because I didn't connect my webcam. It looks way different when I don't have my webcam connected. But for the day, one day I could be like, I like blue. One day I like green, yellow, whatever it is. All right. Yeah, I'm not paying $71 for that. Maybe I can find somebody else who charges less, but I wouldn't be able to get a shout out to my dogs at the crib, because that's specifically, I just want the sound bites. I should have just asked him to do it when I saw him. I should have been like, yo, bro, could you just shout out all the dogs at the crib? And then just recorded him and then use that, because I ain't paying him for that. And I am one to pay for these cameos. See, Chelsea is $50, man. Chelsea won and played well. And she's $50. I might get one from Chelsea one day. I just don't really know what to ask her or what to get her to say. That's my only issue. I think so. I think it's worth jumping in. The season's good, pretty good so far. Chelsea did go down on her price, because if y'all remember, I was planning to get a Chelsea cameo, and I want to say she was $100 at the time. And I was like, no, as much as I love Chelsea, I don't just base getting cameos on if I like the person or not. It's like, who are they? What significance have they had in whatever platform that they are? How much do I need what they're going to say to me? Like, let me see if I have my list of people that I have booked on this thing and what I paid for them. It should be on here somewhere. Yes, it is. Orders. Okay. Wait. How come my orders are not showing up? This is odd. You know what? You want to know how you know when the episode is boring? When I've gone 12 minutes and I forgot that I was recapping an episode. I mean, my apologies for that, but I didn't take any notes because it was very bland of an episode. And but anyways, I'm going to give you guys like a little tiny bit of a recap. So basically, we jumped into this HOH competition. Oh, there was something funny that happened at the beginning that I forgot about. Oh yeah, I remember. So Keanu was celebrating. They showed us last week Thursday when the Blockbuster competition was ending and everything, and they recapped that Adrian won the Blockbuster competition. And then they showed Adrian and Will celebrating. Not Will. Adrian and Keanu celebrating. And he smacked his hand and he was giving him these bear hugs. Yo, that's my boy. Yo, my boy. You got yourself out the block. Way to make a move, bro. Way to make a move, yo. And then they cut to a diary room video of of Adrian being like, "Yeah, man, Keanu, I'm glad that you are happy that I won, my guy, but I ain't working with you though. I'm not working with you because Adrian wasn't feeling the fact that Keanu lied on his boy Will, and it showed that Adrian and Zach were both like, nah, we don't trust Keanu. We don't want to work with Keanu. Meanwhile, Keanu is like hyped up, thinking that these guys are a part of his team. So there was that. That was funny. Then also they were showing how all the ladies, well, not all the ladies, but Morgan, Mickey, and Ashley, and especially Rachel, were so sad about Amy going out. And then it showed Lauren like, oh, I can't believe that it was a unanimous vote. I can't believe that people who are friends with Amy and were working with her unanimously voted her out. And I'm like, is there a new definition of super fan? Because she's acting like this is the first time in show history that there's ever been a unanimous vote where allies voted somebody out. It's like this happens a lot, especially in the Big Brother I started watching. I don't know if that was a thing prior, but in the Big Brother I started watching, the more modern one, if somebody has like, if there's, let's say, 15 people, 14 people voting or something, and by Thursday everybody realizes that 10 or 11 out of those 14 votes are going against that person, then a lot of times the other three are just like, you know what? They're going home anyways. I'm not going to go against the house. It doesn't really mean that much, but Lauren is extremely sensitive and like a deer in headlights playing this game. That's the way that I see her. Yeah, and then this Cameo thing is annoying me. And then Jimmy was trying to, I don't know, console the ladies, save face. Cameo. Because I'm trying to view my cameos, my cameo history, and it's not showing me my history. Expired. In the old school Big Brother, it would happen sometimes. Yeah, I've heard that these unanimous votes only became a thing. By the way, I like the profile or whatever. I guess you could call it a profile picture, Ebony. I guess if you have, I assume that you have a StreamYard account, which is why it's putting a picture up, right? Yes, please hit the like and subscribe. I gotta figure this out. I don't even know why Cameo signed me out. This is annoying. Oh, I think I might know what it is. This is still annoying. Okay, it doesn't matter. I know that I had one of the first ones, if not the first one that I got, was Ruben Studdard. I got that from my mom for her birthday. Oh, that one was the best. That one was the best. He sang happy birthday to my mom. That was I want to say $75. Me and my sister split that one up. I got the one from Mimi. I got the one from Xavier, the famous one from Xavier. Shout out to music and mental health. Music and mental health, those things are both dope. And continue spreading the joy of music and mental health. Who's your favorite from last year? I should be looking up how much Joseph Abden costs for you, MILF man, because he's your goat. He is the goat from MILF man. Aside from like Dr. Will and those guys, that's the only one. That's the only non-winner that MILF man likes that much. Joseph Abden. It happens almost every year. Happened like that for 4 last year. Oh, Rubina. I got one from Casey. I got one of Casey Clark from our mutual friend. I'm thinking of two possible people you mean when you say that. It's probably the first one that I thought of. Okay. I got one from Big. Oh, there's my Mimi one.
What's up, family? It's Mimi from Big Brother Season 25, and you are now tuned in to Mindful Reality with Mark.
I love
for y'all
this
to
one.
Stop what you're doing and make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe because the math ain't mathing, okay? Mark, thank you so much for all of your love and support throughout the season. We need more inclusive voices in this space. So thank you for your contributions to the conversation. Listen, the Big Brother house was legitimately the hardest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. And the only way that I was able to navigate such a tough environment was by staying focused on what the end goal was for me. I left my husband a month after my wedding for my chance at $750,000. So when you hear me say that I didn't cry in the Big Brother house or that I didn't get super emotional and that I was able to stay focused on the task at hand, it was because I came there with one goal in mind and one goal only, and that was to walk away with that $750,000. And that is the same mindset that I employ in any corporate or work environment that I've ever been in. I am there to do a job. I cannot infuse my feelings into a situation. I cannot be sidetracked by emotions about
any disagreements or anything that may take place in the workspace. You have to stay focused on the task at hand. That was true for me in the Big Brother house, and is still true for me right now today in my everyday life. So, I mean, I know that's easier said than done, but quite frankly, staying focused on what it is that you need to be focused on, which is your coin in your bag, should be all of the motivation you need to get things done. So I'm super proud of you. Congratulations on the Mindful Reality YouTube page. It's great. I've been able to check out some of your content. I really love it and enjoy it. I love the goodbye message that you sent to me. It was so cute and it was so funny. Listen, I'm sorry that I could not get it done for us this season. I really wanted to. I tried my hardest, but I hope that I made you proud at least. And I'm super proud of you, and I'm wishing you the best on all of your future endeavors. And I want to wish you and your family happy holidays. Thank you, Mark. Love you.
I forgot. I loved this message until Kara topped this message. I didn't think that this one would be, but in terms of bang for the buck, I want to say that this one was about maybe $50. It wasn't more than 50. It might have been less than that. So I was pleasantly surprised with how this message turned out. She gave me the plug. She watched my YouTube page. Like, bruh. That Xavier one, though. Yeah, she left her husband. She left right after her wedding to go on Big Brother. Yeah. I think I got one from Wes. Yeah, I got one from Wes a minute ago. Someone sent you. Was this from? This might have been my Hannah video, but I'm not gonna play it because this one was long. But I think she was also like $49.99. I want to say. Anyways, most of the cameos I've gotten are from people that I've met, because I feel like when you meet them, there's a better chance of you getting a better cameo, and I think I've proven that for the most part. The ones that I know a little bit before they did the cameo for me are the ones that give me the best cameos. Or even if I don't know them, if I have interacted with them in some kind of a way. Yeah, so on the show, getting back to the show a little bit, they showed the upcoming HOH competition. Oh, before the HOH competition, it showed like Rachel speaking with Ashley and being like, the modern day Big Brother game is so different. She's like, I used to be so good at this, and I used to win cops, and I used to be good at the games. And she said, I'm not used to this Big Brother. Like, I suck. I'm not used to not having power, and I'm not used to having to be nicey nice with people, fake nice. This is a new era where you can't just crash out on people and still have a good space in the game. You're one crash out away from being public enemy number one. And she knows that. And it's been so interesting to watch her try to be this nice girl for the most part. Like when she was talking to Lauren on the feeds earlier today, and she was like, girl, you are smart and intelligent and beautiful, and I want to be like your mentor and your confidant and whatever. She's just trying to switch the play up. And Lauren was not really buying it. But anyways, we did this HOH comp, and it was one of those true or false ones. It had the Nolan twins. Nails on the chalkboard, listening to them. I'm like, cool, I get that you're bringing people back for, you're bringing people back and having them do these cameo appearances or whatever. But the Nolan twin, come on, man. You had so many options. And what was the novelty of it? Just the fact that two of them were speaking at the same time, and you had to be able to navigate through two annoying, bland voices to be able to remember what they were saying. So I think almost half of them got eliminated on the first question. Ava got eliminated by herself on the second question. The majority of them got eliminated on the third question. If I remember correctly, I can't remember whose HOH it was last year, or maybe it was the year before, where they had a one question true or false and everyone got it wrong except for one person and they became the HOH. This kind of reminded me of that just a little bit, but it did make 4 rounds. What pissed me off is that I didn't know that the HOH was going to be between Mickey and Lauren. So we were one question away from a Mickey HOH, because this Lauren HOH is driving me nuts at this point. God, it's driving me nuts. I totally agree, Cougar Man. I think Rachel's playing a smart game. She's matured a lot. I think Rachel is playing the only game that she has to play, to be honest with you. You can call it smart, but when you get onto the show as somebody who's been there twice and won, especially because she's actually won before, you're at a major disadvantage just automatically. Like, even if you had been there and you hadn't won, you're still at a disadvantage. So the only thing that you could do is just downplay your threat level, try to get in the least amount of controversy or fights as possible, and then try to work like personal angles. I see it kind of similar to what Sari was doing, but it's more natural for Sari to do that than it is for Rachel. I'm not convinced that Rachel is. She's matured for sure, but I'm not convinced that her whole personality has shifted from what it used to be, because we've seen traces of Rachel, the old Rachel, wanting to come out in different times. So far this season, she's just toned it down. The funny thing is, I had the feeds on and I usually watch the feeds, but I feel like I lost so many brain cells earlier today watching Lauren's conversations with Rachel and Vinny and Ashley on the feeds and Morgan, that I'm just like, I need a mental vacation from those feeds at this point. I would have won that comp. I was playing along. I'm so good at those. Yes. Oh, you haven't seen anything at all. Yeah, Rachel, they brought her back. Oh, Chelsea was the one who won the one question HOH. It was Otav. Yes. It was Otav. That's right. Thank you. Forgot about that. I think so. I agree. MJ won Otav. That's what I thought. MJ won Otav. I'm just waiting for this Jimmy versus Rachel showdown. And Jimmy better not let me down, because he's already let me down twice with pre-planned crash outs that weren't even interesting. Oh, well, you want to call me a snake? Well, this snake bites. I forgot what the other one that he said last week was. Oh, when him and Keanu were going at it, and he was like, when he told Keanu that he was lying again. I don't remember what it was, but it was corny. I can't believe they put that lemon drop Julie comment at the beginning of this episode. That probably went viral. Y'all know that I don't look at TikTok and all the different apps that people use. I don't know what goes viral, but I wouldn't be surprised if that did. That's so true. You can tell that they don't really know who she is. They just know floaters grab a life vest, like that's what they know. And they know her argument. The same things that Keanu said that pissed her off is how like 80% of them actually know her. What did Mickey do? I could have sworn Chelsea won. I think she won a true or false comp, but I don't know if it was on one question. She told Jimmy, are you going to do your makeup because you need to do something to your face? Big Brother Bride, they brought back a former winner. They brought back Casey Clark. I think Chelsea won the quiz comp, though. It was about a toilet. Have your moment because you won't have many more. That wasn't the thing that I was thinking of, though. He said something else maybe after that when Keanu put on the sunglasses. Am I mixing up two of them? I just know there was two different times when he came for Keanu and the quotables that he had both sucked. I don't look at Twitter willingly, but Tasha involuntarily makes me. Big Brother Bry said he hasn't watched any of the season and is asking if it's worth watching. So I think that the spoilers that I'm providing are, if he doesn't receive those, I don't think that there's a 1% chance of him watching this season at all. I think the spoilers are actually increasing his chances. See what I'm saying? But just to let you know, she was just there for that one episode. So you don't have a letdown. It was just one episode. Yeah, that was it, Tammy. You're so full of ish that the toilet is jealous. I was like, I thought the snake bite one was the worst thing that he could possibly think of. But you're so full of ish that the toilet is jealous. I think I said this last week. That sounds like something that those of us who were around in the 90s. I was in elementary school in the 90s, and that sounds like when we would all stand in a circle and people would insult each other. That sounds like something that somebody would say to them, the kid on the playground in the 90s. Not some grown man. Not some grown man saying that on national television. Come on now. Come on now. He's trying so hard to be iconic. That's why I'm like, his destiny on this show. I feel like they want him to be Reagan. He's not Reagan. They want him to be Reagan. And Reagan's whole thing with Rachel was really just natural. But I just hope that he legitimately gets upset and is not thinking about the cameras and comes up with something interesting or entertaining. Yes. The toilet comment is also from RuPaul's drag race. It's funny because it was a part of. You're probably the only one who found it funny. I'm gonna give you a purple nurple because your parents have no AOL hours. By the way, y'all, I was going onto the Paramount Plus app to try to get to the feeds, and it auto played. It started auto playing the first episode of Big Brother ever, and I was so amused. Like, it had that guy Ian doing the walk through the house, and he was like, and to answer the question, is there a camera over the toilet? Yes. There was literally a camera above the toilet that could see everything in the toilet. There was literally, it wasn't like the cameras now that you can see the person's head when they're taking a shower. They had a camera like up in the shower. They had a camera in the toilet. Not in the toilet, but you know what I mean. In the actual room that had the toilet in it. And he was like, if you're wondering the reason for this, it's because people could potentially be having game discussions in here that we don't want to miss or something to that effect. In the preview, it was showing people hooking up and then smoking in the bed afterwards. The whole family and friends group was there outside. They had like a gated fence that everybody walks through, and then they hug their family, their girlfriend, and kiss them or whatever as Julie introduces them, and they came in with police escorts. Like, it was wow. I was so amused. I was so amused by how the first episode started. And then they were talking about the thing that prompted me to think about that is because they were like, you can watch everything that's going on the Big Brother 24-hour live feeds on bigbrother2000.com, or you can watch on AOL TV. And then they were saying the episodes were 5 days a week. Holy. Were they shorter episodes or something? Because I feel like 3 episodes is a lifetime. I did read your whole comment. I just didn't read the whole comment out loud. How is it on mute? I remember watching that. They wrong for that. They said something like they won't activate it unless people are going to talk in there. Yeah, anything goes. Anything seemed to go on the original Big Brother. I thought that the challenge back in the day was bad, but Big Brother's something else. I haven't seen Total Drama Island. The real BB unlocked. You won't get more amused now. Really? So there was 5 full hours of Big Brother per week. That's crazy. That's crazy. If the Jimmy and Rachel show is them putting on clothes and makeup, I'm good. But if they are having a game conversation, I'll flip it on. You made it sound like I thought Jimmy total shade was funny. That's defamation. Yeah, so Lauren wins the HOH, blah, blah, blah. And then after she wins the HOH, the narrator tried to make it seem like, oh, but there's a secret power that's still out there and it could possibly be used this week. And we know that it's not going to be used this week. I know the producer got fired, and I believe they got sued also. Yeah, so oh, somebody won a movie premiere. Somebody won a movie thing. Let's see. Let's see if I should turn these feeds on. Oh, if the remote was out of reach. Oh, the remote's not working. I'm not too interested, to be honest. Just because feeds are getting boring for me at this point. They might get interesting again, a little later, but hey, Edward. I got about another 15 minutes, and then I'm popping off this thing. I won't say I'm heading to bed because I have a couple of things to do before bed, but I will be off of here until tomorrow. So who did Keanu choose to watch the movie with? Rachel and Jimmy? Yeah, I remember they were killing those true-false competitions in season 25. It's rather early in the season. So did I already put this up? I think I put this up at the beginning, but this is how I felt about today's episode. Bored Mimi. By the way, the bored Mimi was from the classic pressure cooker, which I was mad that she threw at the end. Because I was sitting here watching this, and I'm like, yes, my girl Mimi's in here. She's about to win the recreation of one of the most iconic games, HOH games of all time. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Her hand got off that button way too easily after staying on there for so long. I remember the ending was so bad. Like, I thought that all those people were going to stay on that thing indefinitely. Then they all just made deals really quick. And then Cameron wins. Rachel, Ava, and I forgot the third person. She was close, but she threw it. I pretty much blocked out season 25. She's my favorite thing of season 25 by far. Regardless of the fact that I've been promised that interview at least 3 times now by her. But it's all love when I meet her in person. She's such a good time in person, honestly. But I really, 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 really wish that I could have gotten that interview. Super wish that I could have gotten that interview. I love the reaction in the diary room. Whose reaction? Lauren? Is that who you're talking about? And this is how I feel about all of Lauren's HOH conversations with everybody. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. What is this? What is in here? Oh, and this. I feel this too. I feel this. I feel this every time Vince and Lauren are talking, or anytime Riley's talking. I am no Riley fan. Riley doesn't care about the game. He just cares about Catherine.
I'm just like, these people are, I don't know if they're sane or if I'm sane. Like, I could be the crazy one.
I don't know if I'm sane or they're sane. I could be the crazy one. Shout out to Mama Fee. Oh, that part was hilarious. Morgan was like, yeah, my girl, she won, but I don't know who she's aligned with. I've never talked game with her. And Rachel was like, who's Lauren? And everybody was just like, I don't actually know what Lauren is going to do, or I've never talked any game with Lauren. So is this good or is this bad? And I think true to form, that's so accurate. Who the hell is Lauren? What has she done in this game? Who is she aligned with aside from Vinny? What impact has she made on this season at all? She's breaking. And it's week 3. Calm down, Mark. Calm down. We only have to suffer through this until Thursday, and then she can't win 2 weeks in a row. Hopefully somebody wins and puts her on the block. Not for nothing. I don't even care if she goes home. I just hope she sits on the block. I mean, I do hope she goes home, but she's not like such a top priority for me that I hope that she's the next one that goes home. I just hope that she goes home before Jerry, because I don't want to see any more of her. The way that she's handled this HOH has been classically terrible. Hopefully Morgan moves on from great value Matt, aka Zach. Chocolate is always good for one of these per season. Great value Matt. Yeah, that gives. Hold on, I wonder if I could play 2 seconds of this song. Hold on. I probably can't even play 2 seconds of this song. Oh, if you've heard the song, you know what song I'm talking about. That Mariah song that she made for Eminem. Why are you so obsessed with me? It's so terrible. When Rachel went in there and Lauren was like, I wish somebody could just make my decision for me. I'm like, why are you the HOH? Vinny just basically got a second HOH to use for free. He didn't even need a secret HOH power. He's clearly the HOH this week. He's controlling the entire HOH. You might as well put this HOH on his resume. 2 HOH wins for Vinny. And Morgan was like, I cried over him. And then she was complaining. Who was she talking to again? She was talking to Vinny, funny enough. And she was just like, sometimes I just need like a embrace. I need like a hug. And for him to tell me, like, everything is going to be okay. And he won't even do that for me. And then she said, I was on the hammock with him and he was just like touching me and we were really close and he was they were making physical contact on the hammock is what she was saying. And then she said another time when Lauren was around, he gave her a handshake and she felt such a way that she got a handshake instead of a hug and feels like it was because of Lauren. And I'm like, what are we talking about right now? And I actually thought Zach and Lauren would be an interesting showmance. But if this ever happens, I feel like it would be worse than watching America and Corey. I was literally binge watching the Warning reaction videos yesterday and crying. I thought Riley in season 25 cried a lot. Yeah, she's been in tears all day. Appreciate the super sticker, Brian. Thank you for that. No, she said he kept shaking her hand and Lauren wasn't out there. I don't even care what he said to tell you what she said to tell you the truth. I was just uninterested in the conversation. Thank you for the super chat, Edward. Rachel is right though. New school BB is more complicated than old school BB. I want to see old Rachel. She stopped giving physical touch because he liked Lauren, but then he kept shaking her. This is what I'm saying. That reading that just gave me a headache. Like, this is stupid. This is too much for an Abercrombie motto. Zach is my pick, and Zach has bored me to tears at this point. And I don't even know where he stands in the game either. Like, I'm like, where's his allegiances? All right, y'all. I had 5 more minutes, but just as I have always done, when I see super chats, I add to my time. So I got a super chat and a super sticker. So instead of an hour, we are getting an extra 10 minutes on top of that. Thanks to Brian and Edward. So I would say that I just want to see somebody else win HOH. Yeah, I agree, Tammy. Like, this group does not have any kind of like real entertaining chemistry like previous seasons. So I'm not even interested in the showmances. Rachel's pandering to the audience. She'll easily wash these house guests. Yeah, she is. And she's always looking at the camera every time she finishes a conversation. She knows what she's doing. The issue is in modern day Big Brother, it's hard for people. Like, you gotta, the competitions are not in her favor, like she said, and she knows that. She knows that the competitions are not in her favor, so she has to try to figure this thing out with more of a social game. And I don't think that that was much. I mean, a social game was a thing, but a social game in 2025 is different than a social game back then. You have to do more. You definitely have to do more to win people over and to make sure they're going to vote for you. Okay. What's happening on the feeds for anyone who's watching the feeds? Because I usually have the feeds on, but I don't have it on right now because I sat and watched them from about 12 Eastern to about like 6:30 or so. Let me check. Ebony, by the way, Ebony should have a wrench. I don't know. Oh, an hour ago, almost, I said I was going to plug something and I didn't even do it. My bad. One, I want to plug Tasha's Talks. I think it's Tasha's Talks, where Tasha has been doing these recaps of the episodes. They're like short recaps, a couple of minutes long, but they give you, it kind of gives me the vibes of, shoot, I can't remember the channel that used to do those snippets. I know Nikki Shorts was one of them, but there was like another channel that would give these snippet videos with narration. So Tasha has been doing that. And then Mawcast tomorrow. Mawcast is going to be tomorrow. I think she usually does it at 6:45. So join Mawcast and also subscribe there if you have not. There's only one Mawcast, so you can find it more easily than you can find my channel, and Tasha's Talks, which I posted on my community post. And that's it. Rachel's lying. She can win a comp. I honestly don't think she's trying to win. I don't know. Watching paint dry would be more exciting. And I was gonna give Ebony a wrench. If y'all don't remember Ebony, she was on my channel late last season. She was on my channel. And she gave some great recaps. Yeah, I gotta leave that up there. I just watched Tasha Talks a couple of days ago. Matter of fact, let's throw one on here for you guys, because I don't think that she will strike my video with the copyright. At least I hope she wouldn't. So I'm gonna go on this last one because it's like 2 minutes long. 2 minutes and something long, and I'm gonna show you guys what Tasha's Talks is about. Tasha's Talks. Okay. One second. All right. Share screen. Wait. Share screen. Why is it making me? Oh, here we go. It's like when I don't do something on a regular basis, I just forget. Okay, new videos every week. I like the interface. Okay, where are we at here? This is the one that I just watched.
Last time on Big Brother, Jimmy nominated Keanu, Kelly, and Adrian for eviction. But this week came with a twist. 2 veto opportunities changed everything. Keanu got double the chances to win the veto thanks to BB legend Casey. She faced off against Adrian and won, and he did not waste it. Keanu snatched the veto and pulled himself off the block. Meanwhile, Kelly went head-to-head with the clock in a solo veto puzzle competition. She won, saving herself as well. That left Amy, Will, and Adrian to battle it out in the BB Blockbuster. And Adrian clutched the win, taking himself off the block and sealing Amy's fate. Amy has officially been evicted from the house in a unanimous 13-0 vote, despite a strong campaign push from Morgan and Rachel. Nominations are today and the pressure is on. That's your update from the BB27 house. Beatles are flying, blockbusters are booming, and Amy's game came to a screeching halt. But with Lauren as the new HOH, are we going to get a whole new level of gameplay? Who's going up? Who's laying low? And will the house finally draw a clear battle line? I'll be back soon with my smart player, messy player, and wild card predictions for week 3. And trust me, it's going to be good.
This is great, right? That's solid. I love this. Hold on. Let us remove this real quick. I like that. Like, if you don't want to sit here and watch a 2-hour Rob has a podcast video or one of my long lives like this, or I don't know who else does it, but if you just want like a succinct recap of what happened, like if I missed 3 or 4 days, throw that on and that caught me all right up. Okay, where are we here? Yeah, I'll try to be on tomorrow. I should be able to be. Join the Fartcast before Fartcast gets canned. If we don't get enough subscribers, it will absolutely get canned. Good things come to those who wait. I don't know, man. We are losing production funds. If the house was to get rid of Keanu... Oh, thank you, Ma, for the super chat. If the house was to get rid of Keanu, who would they even nominate every week? Her videos are well edited and more importantly, straight to the point. Exactly. Yeah, I like how he does that. He'll do like 10 to 12 minute videos. And frankly, I used to watch those 2-hour videos, but I'm like, I watched the show, I watched the feeds. Just doing those 2 things alone is hours and hours of my life that I waste away on Big Brother. And then I come on here and I do like 1 to 2 lives per day. So when am I really, and that's in between work and other things that I'm doing. So when am I really going to have time to watch a 2-hour video, or like a 1 to 2 hour video? I am more likely to watch a Tasha's Talks or one of those Big Brother boy videos than I am to watch anything else. Keanu just told Lauren, and he also said that to Ashley. He was like, "Oh, if you allow yourself to go on the block, I'll fight hard for you to get you off the block. You can't get everybody off the block." I don't know. This guy doesn't know this game. That's all. Keanu does not know the game of Big Brother. He probably watched Jag footage to get himself prepared for this and thought that everyone could win like a Jag style of game. That's probably what he thought. Yeah, like if I'm watching, so I'll watch somebody's live, even though I don't do that anymore. But like, hypothetically speaking, if I was not doing this vlogging anymore for Big Brother, but I was still watching Big Brother, I'd jump on somebody's live who I like just engaging with them. Like, for instance, last season when I was getting really bored towards the end and I found Big Brother Bry's channel, I would go on there pretty often just to hang out in there and just type some comments and hear the different things that he was talking about. But that wasn't because of Big Brother. It was just because he was talking about a variety of things. And I just enjoyed hanging out and I enjoyed the group and everything. But in terms of if I was just going on to listen to somebody recap Big Brother, I don't need an hour. I don't need 2 hours. I like those short to the point ones. Lauren is welcome to Big Brother. Get used to it. Oh, all I gotta say to Lauren. Okay, I get it now. Well, exactly. If you think this is hard, it's so early. All right, Edward. I'm heading off pretty soon also. Ma's third. Ma giving me the second super chat extended my time a little bit because I said an hour and 10 due to yours and Brian's. So I'll give Ma a 5. I got 5 more minutes after we get to an hour and 10. And we will cut it at an hour and 15. Appreciate you, Edward. Edward is a busy guy.
What sense does that make? The math is not mathing.
You gave me a prompt to put that up there today, but I feel like I haven't put that up in a little bit, so I just had to throw that up there because Mimi seems like she's going to be a permanent fixture until something more iconic happens. Until I get a more iconic soundbite, Mimi's here to stay. And matter of fact, it can't even be one iconic soundbite. It would have to be several of them to replace all of the ones that I have for her. What did I miss here? I'm slaying. Cliff Notes. I don't know who Mad Rose is. Shout out to Cliff, though. I've watched him on occasion, but a lot of my channel watches Cliff Notes. I don't know who Mad Rose is. Never heard of that one. No problem. Shout out to you, my dog at the crib. Chocolate Capricorn is one of my original dogs at the original crib. Love. That's why she doesn't get fired, even though she has so many different infractions. She is tenured. She is a long tenured member on my channel. So therefore, That's the reason why when she skips out at lunch break or no call, no shows at work for like 2 weeks, she doesn't get fired. She just gets a slap on the wrist. I can't have her replaced. Who is? I want to know now that a couple of OGs are not here anymore. I know Ma said she was here on my original channel, although she did not post at that time. Chocolate is from my original channel. Who was anybody else here during those days? The channel that's been doing recaps with her mom. Let me see. Okay, so let me see who that is. Like, I'm not really familiar with that many Big Brother channels, so I don't even know if I would know who that is anyways. No, I don't. Have I seen her before? I might have. I might have seen her before. But I'm still not like familiar like that. Oh, so you were there. That's when I started. So you were here on the channel when I started too. I thought you were, because back in those days, we had so many people, and for whatever weird reason, a lot of those people were from freaking Wisconsin. so that's where this whole Wisconsin thing started. But now it's just you. So it's not as fun to make fun of Wisconsin anymore. It was fun when there was like 10, 15 of y'all. And I was like, yeah, it could be worse. I could be living in Wisconsin. And then the whole chat was just on me. But now it would just be online bullying. So I only do that on Discord once in a while. They need to have a 45 plus and older all-stars. Yeah, I know. They're doing my guy Will dirty, and I don't like that. Only person missing is Lisa. That's one of the OGs that's no longer here. I don't watch her, but she's always on my recommendation. You know, most of you, or I don't know if Chocolate or Cass or Ma will remember this person, but the first person who ever said anything to me on my channel in terms of in the chat was Holly. Holly was the first person in my first live. And I think I was on that live for about 5 minutes, and I was talking to myself. I'm going to find that live. It should still be on my old channel. But I was talking to myself for like 5 minutes, and then I was like, great, nobody's here, so I could just turn it off. And then somebody says hi in the chat, and I'm like, man, I'm stuck here now. And then there was about like I want to say there was like 5 people on, four or 5 people, maybe 4 people that were chatting in there. And I think Lisa was one of them, if I'm not mistaken. I'm in Wisconsin. I'm sorry. No, I'm kidding. I'm halfway kidding. Michelle Moore. Oh, Michelle Moore that talks to y'all on Cliff Notes. I gotta leave this comment up and star this comment and pin this comment just for Cass. CBS is hating on Mark so hard. He used to place the lot. Yeah, man. CBS blocks interviews, so I don't even try anymore. I don't try to get the interviews because CBS blocks everyone from getting interviews from me. And then my channel used to be getting a good algorithm boost. And the last 2 seasons or 3 seasons, it doesn't. So I just stay committed to my small crew. But I like my small crew, so that's okay. Come to Virginia with Marshall. Holly, you think you remember? Yeah, Holly was one. Holly was one of the most consistent on my channel. I still have Holly on Facebook. I should reach out. I haven't spoken to her in a very long time. And then I used to go live with Retro. If y'all remember Retro, me and Retro used to go live together a lot back in my first season. And then there was Nikki Shorts. I know Andre was on. Andre has always made claims that he was the first person on my channel, but I don't know about that. He definitely wasn't the first person who talked on my channel, but he was on there the first week. I know that much. So he was definitely one of the first. I can't remember who else. But a lot of those people did not join when I made this channel. Maybe they either just lost interest in the videos or couldn't find my channel. Some people said that. I don't take that personally, though, except for 1 or 2 that I know specifically left intentionally for their own reasons. That is personal. But when I just don't see somebody back, I don't assume that there's any malintent or anything like that for them leaving. I love when Will talked about people better suited for the block. Yeah, when he gave pushback, when Lauren thought that it was going to be an easy conversation. I love you, Will. And even if I put you on the block, everybody loves you here. So you're going to come back anyways. You're a 21-year-old talking to a grown 50-plus-year-old man. All right. And so he's probably looking at her like, don't do all that. Just say that you were the easy choice and call it a day, because I don't got time for you to try to spin it and make it sound good. Holly used to be on the Discord, but the last time she said anything was New Year's Eve 2023. Well, I know that Holly was, I don't know about now, but I know that at one time Holly was going through some stuff. So I know that had contributed to her not being here at that time. I don't know about recently. I think Holly commented on, must have been my challenge page on Facebook or something this year, but I've heard from her sparingly. As far as I know, it's Ed's channel. Lisa is one of the panelists on Ed's channel. Shout out to Ed. Y'all know Ed. Michelle is always harassing me. Hey, Jason. Yo, this is giving me some old channel feels. And the reason why I'm saying that is every time I say I'm leaving, people keep popping up. I guess you never heard my story of my first time being in Wisconsin, being like, what was it, 2000, the year 2000, and I was in Oshkosh for a camping trip. And then I got on here and I was like, the only thing that I really remember in Wisconsin was Piggly Wiggly. And then because I used to have all these people from all these different states, and they were like, Mark, Piggly Wiggly isn't a Wisconsin thing. Like, they have several of them all over the country. And I'm like, Piggly Wiggly? And then they were like, it didn't even start in Wisconsin. And then I got on Google and found out that Piggly Wiggly is everywhere and didn't start in Wisconsin. And it made my whole Wisconsin point for that day a moot point, and I was very embarrassed. Focus on building your own community and everything else will follow when it's time. Thanks, Ebony. The Monte days were fire. I'm sorry to bring them up. I'm sorry that I posted that video. I was looking through old videos on my cell phone because I have pictures and videos that I take every season. So I found those and I was like, this was so steamy. Well, shout out to me for getting Retro that follow. Yes, but I was on there first. I have to say, before we knew who Milfman was, I was the original co-host on that channel. Her picking Will was weak sauce. Agreed. Oh, I'm behind on the comments. Sorry, y'all. The Monte season brought us together. Keanu, Jimmy, and Rachel would have been nice. As selections, you mean, for nominees? That would have been a hella interesting. Yeah, that would have been a hella interesting week if those three were on there. Ava and Ashley just sang a song to Amy. No more free promo. I used to like that too. There's nothing for me in Wisconsin, except I told her if I was in Milwaukee, I'd hit the breweries or something, and then maybe I'd like Wisconsin a bit more. Oh, you don't? That was the only good thing. Don't get me started on Wisconsin again. I can smell the cow dung from here. We just got a Culver's in Jacksonville. Culver's, sorry, I don't know. I said Culver's. I don't know what that is, but oh yeah, subscribe. I mean, I remember we were driving for hours, and like it took so long to get from one gas station to another. Like we had a quarter tank of gas at one point, and oh well, we can just make it to the next gas station because the prices of this one are high. We almost didn't make it to the next gas station because it was just so much country. But shout out to the Midwest, though. I lived in the Midwest for 4 years of my life. I lived in Michigan, and I frequented Chicago, and I hated Ohio and Wisconsin. In Ohio, I got a speeding ticket. Now, I forgot what the speed limit was, but I think the speed limit from where I was coming from, which might have been, I don't want to get my geography messed up, so I'm not even going to say that. I'll just say I was coming in from a state that was bordering Ohio. And the speed limit in the state that I was coming from was like 70 or something. And the speed limit in Ohio was 55. And so I was like 6 or 7 miles over that speed limit. I saw a police car there. He pulled me over and he was like, "Do you know how fast you're going?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "You were speeding out there." And I was like, "No, I don't think that I was going over the speed limit." And he was like, "Yes, you were. You were well over the speed limit." And he goes to his car, writes my ticket. The ticket said like 62 miles. in a 55, and it said, I want to say $180 or something like that. And I'm like, $180 for going 7 miles over the speed limit. And then he showed me the scale in Ohio, which was like 1 to 20 miles over is this much, 20 to 29 over is this much, 30 to 39, whatever, 40 plus. And I was like, so I could be going 1 mile over the speed limit and get this same ticket. You're bugging. I mean, I didn't say that, obviously, but that's what I was thinking to myself in my head. Cold versus Fire. Oh, okay. I know Smash Burger. I always preferred Pick and Save. Jewel Osco, then it got bought out. My aunt is buried in Oshkosh. Rest in peace to your aunt. Ohio now has Skyline Chili's. It might have been Indiana. Yes, it might have been Indiana that I was coming through. And as a matter of fact, I think it was. It smells. The only good thing there is the weed. I would love to live in Chicago. I can't deal with the heat, Ebony. They are. And they probably saw my New York license plates. Actually, was I living in New York at the time? Couldn't be. I think that was 2012. Yeah, so I might have had New York. I don't know. I was living in Massachusetts at that time. So it might have been my Massachusetts license plates that they saw. But either way, they knew I was an out-of-towner and I wasn't going to stay and fight the ticket, obviously. Saw me coming from a mile away. Out-of-state revenue. They almost arrested my dad because he said his birthday slash age wrong. Wow. It's got to be in Dusty, Wisconsin. I did enjoy my time in the Midwest, though, but in Michigan, it's so funny that people talk so much about Canada. Like, oh, did you live in an igloo? Was it snowing all year round? Were all the did you see moose and were all the police on horses? Like, there's a certain parts of Canada that have some of those things, but none of that was there where I lived in Ontario. But the reason I'm even mentioning that is the most snow I ever saw in my life was when I lived in Michigan. It was just constantly snowing, and it felt like the winter lasted 75% of the year. That part of it was terrible. But we lived about 15 minutes from Notre Dame, which is in South Bend, Indiana. The town that I lived in was 15 minutes from South Bend, Indiana. So if we wanted to go out, that's where we went. Sometimes we actually went to Notre Dame for like parties over there, because our town was just strictly a study town, a school town that was in the middle of nowhere, nothing to do, nothing anywhere near our campus. But fortunately, Notre Dame was nearby, and there were some things to do in Indiana. Indiana is like a bar town, honestly. That's the thing that people do over there. Lots of bars and bar hopping. My mom went to California back in the 90s. On the way, the plane shook. She was scared as F. She never got on a plane again. Oh, wow. That's a long way to go. That is a long way to go on the bus and the train. I can't. I could never, and I mean never, be in Texas in the summer. I would die. I had a bad enough time in the heat in Miami and the heat in Atlanta in the summertime. Forget about Texas. I had friends in Texas for years, in Dallas and Houston, that told me, "Oh, come visit." I'm like, if I ever visit, it has to be December or something. I've been to both of those places. I also lived in New England for a long time. Well, not a long time, like a long time. 6 years. I lived 6 years in New England. Which is Central Mass. I have a brother in San Antonio and a sister in Dallas. That fear must be huge if she's willing to do that. I know, right? She was happy because she was on the ground. I'm near Houston. I'm coming to visit, Chocolate. I'm coming to visit you in Houston. Just not any time around this time of year. Whatever time is the coolest. I'd rather be hot than, it depends on how hot for me. If we're talking hot, like 3-digit hot, I'd rather be cold than hot. Truthfully. Miami has been really bad these past 2 months. The heat literally, Miami was bad enough when I was there, so I believe you. Texas heat is like you can't breathe. My car would melt in Texas. We went to Tennessee twice when I was little. I remember the second time it was a lot of dirt. I've never been to Texas. I've never been that far south in the United States anyways. I've now been to South America, even though I don't necessarily count it as, because it was by cruise. Yeah, I did not enjoy my time in Boston, really. But I mean, I didn't live in Boston, but I lived about 45 minutes, I believe, north of Boston. I did live in Georgia, but I lived in Georgia for about 8 months in Georgia. And I liked it there, especially in the wintertime. The summertime, it was hot as ever. I remember Gladys Knight's Chicken and Waffles. They had some restaurants there, man. We used to go to restaurants all the time, and there was no real fast food. Even the fast food chains were set up like restaurants, where they were like dine-in, fancy restaurant-looking fast food places. I had to get used to it, though, because I was coming there from New York. So I had just gotten used to New York, the fast pace, the fact that people don't speak to each other, and there's like a bunch of things that are New York specific. Then when I went over there, I'll never forget my first day when I was moving there. I got out of the car, and I went into some store. It was like one of those gas station stores because everything over there in Georgia, there's no such thing as like over here in the Northeast, for the most part, gas station stores are just like little convenience stores. The gas station stores in like a Georgia or a North Carolina, those places, you can go in there and buy your groceries. They have a little food thing that can make you burgers and hot dogs or breakfast sandwiches and stuff, and they're pretty big stores. They're like stores or whatever. So I remember going in to one when we stopped at the gas station, and I picked up like a Reese's Pieces and let's say a Sprite or something. And I'm used to New York where nobody talks to each other. So I was just going to the checkout, and somebody behind me was like, Reese's Pieces, good choice. I like those. But my favorite is Mars bars. And then the cashier was like, yeah, I like to curl up by the fire with a Twix. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why are y'all talking to me? That's what I was feeling like. Why are we conversating right now? I just came here to buy my stuff and leave. But after a month or two, I adjusted and got used to what they call the Southern hospitality. I haven't been to upstate New York. Actually, no, I guess Albany is considered upstate New York. So I was there in March. I have also been to Rhode Island and Connecticut. I love Bridgeport, Connecticut. That's a favorite place that I've been to in Connecticut. It's so scenic. But recently in Connecticut, I've only been there in what the hell is that town called? The town that they filmed the Steve Wilkos show. I was just talking about it today and it's slipping. Is it Hartford? Yeah, I think it's Hartford, Connecticut. That's only about a 45-minute drive from me. And they have the studio that has that used to have the Maury show, but has Steve Wilkos, Caramo, I think something else that I can't think of. And then they have the WWE headquarters right there too, which I haven't been inside, but I've seen the outside of it and it's really nice. Yeah, I'd love to visit all the states at least once. Well, I was born and raised in Canada, so y'all know I'm used to it. My parents and brothers moved from New York. My dad was so happy to get away from snow. Cass has been to 4 states, and one of them was drive-through. I've been to I don't know exactly how many states I've been to, but I've probably been to like 20 something, but less than half. I think like 20, 21, 22, something like that. Maybe more, I don't know. I'd have to check again, but I feel like the last time I checked it was early 20s. And I don't be traveling that much, as y'all see. When my money was a little better, I was traveling once or twice a year for races and stuff, but we're getting that back on track. Yeah, the scenery and the buildings are very nice in Boston. Yeah, Delaware. I got a ticket in Delaware too. Oh, you never been in a plane? Wow. You either? No wonder you're twinsies. I only lived in the South, although I travel for months at a time. You're going to come with me on my secret private jet when we going to go see Milfman and Mark. Tennessee and Kentucky was as a drive because my mom was not playing with planes. Chicago's around the corner. I used to be like, when I was in Michigan, I lived about, I think, an hour from Navy Pier. And I remember my school used to have trips to Navy Pier all the time, and I would go on all those trips. Navy Pier, Illinois, for people who don't know what I'm talking about. Terry Black's from Texas. That place is fire. Other than that, I wasn't really feeling Texas the last time I went to visit. And as an adult, it's been COVID and bad economy and poorness. I know, right? Southern hospitality is a thing. I sure did. I tried a lot of places over there. I have never heard of it over here, but that doesn't mean that it's not here. People talk about technology, but man, when we went to Tennessee, I was bored as ish. Farthest one north is Mount Crawford, Virginia, 4 miles from Bridgewater College. Well, now with Buc-ee's, gas stations are like the mall. You can get clothes, camping gear, groceries, and the best brisket sandwiches ever. Sorry, Ebony. Great minds. I've heard it's muddy there. Where's that, Tennessee? You never been on a plane either? Wow, the first plane that you're ever on is not even some short distance. My plane ride, I don't like being on planes, by the way, even though I do go on them. It's just a means to an end. I don't like flying. Yeah, that's my longest trip. I mean, it's not my longest trip ever because I was on planes when I was 3, going from Canada to Africa. But that I was 3, so I don't remember that. But as far as trips that I've been on that I know that I'm like old enough to remember, the furthest trip I ever was on was my trip from here in New York. Or maybe I left from New Jersey. I might have left from New Jersey, but same difference. Going to LA. And that trip was approximately about 6 hours. And I felt like I was losing my mind because when I go to Toronto, that's a straight hour and a half flight. When I went to Miami, that was probably about, I think that was about a 3-hour trip. Like my few trips to Florida, I think were about 3 hours, if I'm not mistaken, which is okay. But that 6 hours was just like torturous for me. I couldn't sleep. Once I pass about 3 hours, I feel really angsty and anxious on that plane. I mean, I feel anxious right away, but I feel unbearably anxious after 3 hours. And then I'm like, but I still had another 3 hours to go. So what can I even do? I'm not able to sleep. I'm not calm enough to watch a movie. So I just had to tough it out and thug it out. And that's probably my reason why I haven't been back to LA. Well, there's many reasons. I have spoken to you guys about my trip to LA, though most of you might not remember, but it was an experience. Buc-ee's is a rite of passage in Texas. I remember I lied and said I went to London. That's such a Cass thing. That's what I'm saying, Chocolate. You got to invite me out, and then I got to go, and then we meet at that place so then I can make a report on it. But unless you do that, I'm going to stay right here in New York. We'll have MILFs on this private jet. The teachers were entertaining my story, but the kids were like, she's lying. The cleanest restrooms. I hate flying. I used to ask for alcohol even for a 30-minute flight, rum and coke. Oh, man. My first time on a plane was 8 hours from Dallas to Frankfurt, Germany. It was 63 degrees leaving Dallas, Fort Worth, and 8 degrees in Germany. Wow. My big sister is opposite of me. She's been on hella planes and been my sister and my dad. World travelers. My dad was probably in more countries than there is states in this country, and has probably he touched every state at least once. My sister does not have the body of work that he has, but she's been all over the place and goes all over the place, and now has a job that pays her to go all over the place. So, and she loves getting on planes. She tells me that being on planes is her happy place. And I'm like, you and I are the oil and water, the sun and the moon. Cass is a liar. Screen capture. Hold on. Screen capture. This is going in the Discord. And the best part about it, Ma of all people is the one who said it, not me. Ensley. Welcome. Jason. Thanks for joining, y'all. Thanks for joining us. See you Wednesday. I'll be on here Monday and Tuesday, though, for those of y'all who are... Actually, on Monday, I don't know if I'll be on, but I'll make my best efforts to join Mawcast on Monday. My sister, I can't even give you all the places my sister lived. Actually, she hasn't lived in a lot of places outside of Canada because she just moved here to the States 2 years ago, I think. So all the other places she lived in like several different parts of Canada. She lived in she lived in North Carolina. She lived in Taiwan. Now she's in Maryland. But I think it's more the traveling part for her than moving. I don't think she's moved that many times. Oh, and she lived in Africa. I mean, she lived in Africa for the first 6 years of her life. They moved out of Africa when I was born. I lied and said I went to my classmate's baseball game, and the teacher forced the kid to thank me. Man, I'm here at 11 o'clock. I can't believe I'm still on here. Crazy. Yo, y'all got to go to the bathrooms in Toronto, y'all. For a big city, the subway, you could eat off the floor in the subway. You can smell the cleaning agent when you walk in there. There's no rats. There's no homeless people down there. It doesn't smell like urine like all of our subways over here. The restaurants are clean. The bathrooms in the restaurants are clean. You feel safe walking up and down the street at night. At least I do. That's my happy place too. It's not a dusty capture. It's actually a crisp capture that you're about to see very shortly when I get off of here. Jimmy in this, let me do a little smoothing, is driving me crazy. He's still doing that? Can you text when you are going to have your next live? No problem. Matter of fact, I've been trying to notify Charicity when I come on these lives. And I forgot. But I kind of don't want her to come on the live at this point because I'm like, she comes on now, I'll feel bad for jumping off. But okay, I'm going to let you know. She lived in Ghana, she lived in Senegal, she lived in Ivory Coast. That's 3 different West African countries that she lived in. When he says that, he means let me pour salt in the wounds. Yeah, YouTube was slacking on the notifications last year as well. YouTube is playing my channel. Everybody says, "Oh, I only happened to catch you on because I just was checking," except for the people that I specifically go out of my way to notify. It is so nice. New York City used to scare me too, but I have now been here for so long that it's like second nature. Maybe that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just so used to New York that it's not like the way that I felt when I first came, when I was terrified of everything. Subway with no rats. Stop talking bad about New York. I'm talking truth about New York. And I live here. Tokyo subway. I've heard. I've always wanted to go and see. Listen, the thing you'll learn about New Yorkers, right? If somebody else comes to New York and talks bad about New York, or if somebody from out of state talks bad about New York, they're going to defend New York ferociously. But within the state, the people who talk the most trash about New York are the people who live here. That's the funny part. It's like siblings that make fun of each other. But then if somebody else makes fun of that sibling, they're like, no, you can't do that. Only I can do that. Just like how there's borough wars. Like we have the boroughs. I've told this story before. When I was in Canada, the first New Yorker that I ever met in my life was my friend Omar, that is still my friend to this day. And I met him when I was like 12 or something, 13, 12, one of those, 11 maybe. And I remember like he just walked over there, and I'm from New York. Like there's this funny thing that New Yorkers do when they want to fight someone, or if they fought, or if they punch somebody in the face, and they're like, I'm from Brooklyn. And I used to be like, what's that mean? I'm from Brooklyn. Like people here, somebody from Queens and somebody from Brooklyn, oh, that's what you Queens people do, or that's what you Brooklyn people do, or that's for you Bronx people or whatever. But if all 3 of those people got on a plane and went to Australia, they're a united front wearing New York Yankees fitted hats. Yeah, that's why I don't have the feeds on right now. I would too, because I only saw it when I was too young to know what was happening. He always glides in. You got ancestry from there. All right. I made him go out of his way on Discord. I can't with all these C's. Go get profile pics. I love that Mark moved past that comment. He's like, typical Wisconsin. Tourists think it's great. New York City is a dump. It is a real life Grand Theft Auto video game. And I live here, and he's born and raised in West Philadelphia, born and raised. And the playground is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing and relaxing, all cool and all shooting some b-ball outside of school. When a couple of guys that were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight. My mom got scared. She said, "Move with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." You know why I thought of that? Because I have a video. Like I said, I was looking through my videos. And I have a video of when I was at the BB26 premiere party. And that song came on. I always find myself in the right spots when I go to these premiere parties and stuff. Because especially when they do them in these New York venues. Oh, that was Mama Fee. She looked like she was quite under the influence in this picture. I'm cracking up. Ooh. This is me and my boy Steve. Well, the cutout of Steve. I guess it's not getting clear enough for y'all to see it. Well, you can see me. You can't see Steve too good. One of the times when I was in Stanford, but they made me take off my hat. That pissed me off. Oh yeah, Mama Fee is a party girl for sure. I'm trying to find my picture. Oh, there's me and Sandra. I didn't know Sandra from Survivor, but I know Sandra from That's funny. She hangs with Ed. Yeah, for those who are not on our Mama Fee discussion, Mama Fee was like, I definitely know Ed. Oh, I know you, Ed. Ed is well known. And we were like, how in the world? How in the world do you know Ed? Ed was like, we got to keep that on the low. That's Sam from the Circle season 5. Shout out to Sam. Wait. What else do we got here? I'm finding everything but what I'm looking for. This is exactly what happened earlier. I was looking for something else. And I found all these other things. Tori. Oh, that was fun. That was fun when I went to this thing dressed as Carlos, although most of y'all won't know what Carlos is supposed to be from. But that's Tori from the challenge. Yeah, I know. Once I got to like an hour and a half, at that point I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be tired tomorrow, so it is what it is. Of course, when I'm looking for it, I can't find it. Oh well. But yeah, they were doing that song. West Philadelphia, born and raised. Oh, hold on.
You didn't come out tonight. Cassandra, you fucked up. You didn't come out tonight. We're missing you hardcore. Kenny's here too, so the Boston accent sounds big. But I love and appreciate the support. Vote me for AFP. Miss you already. Always risk it to the biscuits. That own self be true. Oh, I thought I was. Cassandra, you fucked up. You didn't come out tonight. We're
Missing you hardcore. That was when he was talking to Young Said. He was way more sober this night than he was on this last premiere. He was lit as hell. I don't even think if I saw him the next day, he would even remember that he saw me ever in life. So plastered. They were all so plastered. Speaking of so plastered,
What's going on in your life? What are you talking about? What are you
My life is called Mindful Reality. I've met you before.
You've met me?
At the
You know who I am?
Yes, at the Survivor events, 2 of them.
Well, my name is Katura.
Katora.
I was on Survivor 45.
She was.
You have terrible lighting. Yeah.
You got mad. You got mad at me when I said I liked.
well, the end of that was me saying, you got mad at me when I said that I liked Bruce. And then she was like, oh, I'm done talking to you. She literally physically moved away from me because I said I like Bruce. And I was like,
To leave, but then I was like, everyone just started popping outside. So I was like,
Are you a podcaster or something? What are you podcasting?
you know what? I'm not even gonna play the rest of this video. She allegedly was gonna be on my podcast and has seen me like 5-6 times since then. Hated Bruce passionately to the point where she didn't even want to continue speaking to me, and she didn't even let me finish my sentence. When she finished with her 2 to 3 minute dramatic move away from me, I said, if you would have let me finish speaking, I was trying to get out. I liked Bruce in the beginning. And then I thought that he was doing too much. That's what I was trying to say. But she didn't let me finish. And then she was on some, Bruce is a terrible, terrible person. And if y'all only knew the half of it, and if you really knew how Bruce was in the house and you still liked him, I wouldn't be able to F with you. And I'm just like, this is a lot. Like, this is a whole lot, and I don't understand. I'm not here to beef with any of these people. Yeah, all of a sudden I can't find it. That's okay.
So a funny thing happened today because I know.
This phone here, the reason why I don't look at anything on this phone, this is my iPhone. Oh God. This is my iPhone. I bought an iPhone for like business purposes, but now it's disconnected, so oh, this is the last lip sync battle. Oh, this is the good one. Yo, Azza goes all out for these things. She was you're not gonna be able to see it good, but she was Andre 3000 here. Yo, Azza does the most at these lip sync things. Azza is hilarious and amazing, and she has a great voice. Azza is an amazing singer, and I didn't even know. Yeah, I don't know where that video is. I wish I did. I mean, I could always get the video from just going back to that whole live, but I don't know if I have an individual video clip of Matt. But Matt was so hilarious. Hey guys, sorry I sucked. That is forever etched in my memory. Was that on this channel? Let me see. Let me see if that was on this channel. I can't believe I've been on here for 2 hours. That's crazy. Videos. Your videos. Okay. Sort by. Let's say sort by most viewed. Oh my goodness. This video of Jared and Blue is 119,000 views. And you don't even see them. It's just the sounds of them under the blanket. Like 119. I get notifications about that video every day. And I'm like, why? How and why? I guess people search for sex under blankets. Jared and Blue. Blue in America. Nicole. What is this?
Because what if you keep bringing Sam? Maybe they think it's not happening next week, and they think it happened next week, and they miss. You know what? Until Cameo, there's not some type of constellation past me. Sorry, that's not good enough for me.
The funniest thing about these conversations is you would swear that there's a person in this room that she's talking to. I talk to myself, but she would literally be talking to herself as if there was another person in there.
Because what if we keep bringing Sam? Maybe they think it's not happening next week, and they think it happened next week, and they miss. You know what? Until Cameo, there's not some type of constellation past me. Sorry, that's not good enough for me.
Like people at my job talk like that. I did give her a notification. I mean, I tend to assume that's why she came over here. Oh, she didn't see it. So no, she did not. She found her way here on her own. Welcome. Let's see.
I love this. Like, okay, was it a good kiss? He's awful. Oh, no. So bad. But, like, did it get better as it got, like, more comfortable? I mean, I was just, like, telling him, like, what to do. Okay. Because it was just very tense. Like, yeah. Oh. And I was like, I love this.
That was America telling Nicole how terrible of a kisser that Corey was. What is oh no? My season 25 videos, actually, on as far as this channel goes, my season 25 videos are all the most viewed. Videos are all right. Let's see if I can click on this now.
What's up? What's up? Everyone just said hi to Jag. We got the final 2 of last season in the. What's up? What's up? Everyone just said hi to Jag. We got the final 2 of last season in the building. Sorry, I sucked.
That's the best part. This is I've missed badly by not making this one of my sound bites.
What's up? What's up? Everyone just said hi to Jag. We got the final 2 of last season in the building. Sorry, I sucked. I tried. The final 2 speech just had to be a little bit better. You know, the partnership thing. You should have been like, forget that guy. Because Cass Wash. Cass Wash. What's up? Cass Wash. Everybody is amused by that name, Cass. Tasha. I'm so bad. I'm so sorry.
I'm so drunk. I'm sorry, Mark.
Appreciate you, sir. Matt said hi to me. Oh, her name is Patricia. Patricia, what's up? Patricia. See, now you can't say I didn't do anything for you. You got Matt to say hi to you.
Yo, I had so much fun. That was probably the one I had the most fun at, to be honest with you. The season 26 premiere with the 25 cast was probably the most fun I had at any of the premiere parties for Big Brother. Because season 24 was cool. That was my first one. And there was a lot of BB23 cast. It was fun just because it was my first one. But in terms of which one I had the most fun at, I gotta say it was probably BB25. They were all so fun. Even Jag. Even Jag, Matt. They were probably the most fun. No, Blue was number 1. And then Jag and Matt. Mama Fee, Mimi, like they were all, I didn't really interact a terrible amount with Corey in America because I think they only showed up for one of the 2 days. No, I think they showed up for both, but they were kind of reserved into themselves. But Cass, he was like, sorry I sucked. And then he was like, man, I'm sorry I'm so drunk. I can't. I was like, it's okay, bro. The funniest thing about that night, you know why I liked that night so much? Because that was that night, I think, in addition to it just being fun overall, that was that night when I was like, it's so crowded and hot inside, so I'm just going to stand outside because I'm just over being inside. And then everybody had the same idea as me after I came outside. So they were just walking by, and I was just getting everybody who walked by, Jag and Matt and whoever else. And I was just like, can you say hi to my live? Can you say hi to my live? And they all gave me something different on camera. So that was really super fun that day. That was a super fun day. None of them have matched that. This last one didn't even come close. Those were the best at the parties. 20s, I know. And I was like sober. Nothing. I just came there and I was alert, I was just like, I wonder what these people are gonna say when they get on this camera, because they don't even know what they're saying at this point. Collectively, oh man, Riley, she didn't know what day of the week, what month, what city she was in. Bruh. they partied like it was 1999. How the F does Corey still have America? Probably crazy, because they were stumbling into taxis at the end of the night. And I'm like, which one is the designated one? Oh, boy. Because, like, with the 23 cast, Hannah's not really a drinker. So when they're rallying people at the end of the night, she's usually the sober one that gets them all together. But that cast, they were all wild. Okay, y'all, I am heading off here in a few minutes, unfortunately. But this was great. I mean, I'm going to be exhausted at work, but thanks anyways. I had a fun conversation. I haven't been on here this long in a while, at least not by myself. So I got another 2 to 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I just didn't say hi back because I commented about getting Mark's messages, so it was like, that was rude. I gotta try to get Holly on here. I'm bad with those things. I'll say that I'm gonna do something, and I will, if I don't do it right that second, I'm gonna forget. Just like I have a couple things to do right when I get off here. Can't forget those things. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining me as always. Appreciate the support from each and every one of you.
Shout out all my dogs at the crib. Shout out all my dogs at the crib. Shout out all my dogs at the crib.
Shout out all my dogs at the crib. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. In the meantime, please, as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell to get notified of when I... You are now tuned in to Mindful Reality, the channel that covers reality TV from a mental health perspective.
What's up, family? It's Mimi from Big Brother Season 25, and you are now tuned in to Mindful Reality with Mark. I need for y'all to stop what you're doing and make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, because the math ain't mathin', okay?